Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Homegrown Gigglers. Yes. I've been reading a lot lately, and I read that women who carry a little extra weight actually live a lot longer than men who bring it up. I also read somewhere that last year there was 557,000 divorces last year. Now, I don't want to nitpick or be one of them people that have to argue everything, but shouldn't that have been an even number? I'll bring up your next comedian. All right, you guys, this next guy, he's one of my favorite local comics because he's not just a stand-up comic or a pun comic. We have such a variety here, or a college professor. He is a character comic. So I can't even bring him up by his real name. I'm going to do it by his character name. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just going to do my best. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Reverend Dawn.
Good day, good day. I just want to start off by saying I hope this is a better show than my last one. Last one I had some people throw some omega-3 tablets at me. Turns out I only had superficial oil injuries. And I gotta say, it's been 12 years now. I've been free and clean. I am no longer hooked on phonics. Bunch of young people in the front going, what the hell's he talking about? Old Noah there, when he landed the ark, he opened the doors and goes, okay, everybody off the boat and go forth and multiply. These two snakes were looking at him all confused. Said, we're adders. Doesn't get much better, trust me. I was in Saskatchewan the other day where this woman asked me to go see her husband in the hospital. Turns out he fell down a flight of stairs, landed butt first on a bunch of toy horses that his grandkids were playing with. Doctors say he's in stable condition. And the old guy was sitting there screaming at the TV, don't do it, run, boy, run. My grandma says, what are you watching? He goes, our wedding video. Another guy came in, he was saying he was in cooking classes, and he kept stealing cutlery. He said it was a risk he was willing to take. Speaking of weddings, I was at a very emotional wedding the other week. Even the cake was in tears. A little bit of a time delay on that one. I'm sure Shaw can edit that out. And I will say there are 3 rings in a wedding. You got your engagement ring, your wedding ring, followed by years and years of suffering. While performing a wedding in Saskatchewan, I said, would all the married men stand next to the person who's made your life worth living all these years? Well, that poor bartender was almost crushed that night. And I did warn them that marriage is like a deck of cards. Start out with some hearts and diamonds. After a few years, you're looking for a club and a spade. Then there was the old man who woke up in church one day, he was telling me, all the parishioners running past him screaming. He looks up and he sees the devil at the pulpit. And the devil's ranting and raving and looks down at the guy and he says, "Don't you know who I am?" The old guy says, "Yes, I do." The devil says, "Aren't you afraid of me?" The old guy says, "No, I've been married to your sister for 57 years. Little bit of advice here for the newlyweds out there. In the first year of your marriage, the man will speak and the woman will listen. I'm not done yet. In the second year, the woman speaks and the man listens. In the third year, they both speak and the neighbors listen. I did have some shoes donated to me. Turns out they were donated by a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. While I was in Saskatchewan. We got a Saskatchewanite out there. Should I speak slower? Just got to check on these things. So I had a youngster come up to me from Sunday school and he said, "If the dove is the bird of peace and happiness, does that make the bird of true love the swallow?" Another young kid came up to me and he goes, "Reverend Don, where did Noah keep the bees?" I said, "That's easy. He stored them in the ark hives." Another kid came up and he said, "I took the shell off my racing snail." I says, "How did that work for you?" He says, "Well, he's a little sluggish now." A young girl came up to me and she goes, "Reverend Don, where do unbaptized cats go when they die?" It's not that bad. They just go to purgatory. I asked the kids one day during Sunday school, I go, "Where does Jesus go? Or where does Jesus live?" And one kid says, "He lives in heaven." Another kid says, "He lives in our hearts." A third kid said, "No, he lives in our bathroom." I said, "How do you figure that?" He says, "Every morning Dad gets up and he bangs on the door and he goes, 'Jesus, are you done in there yet?'" I asked the kids over Easter, I says, "Who here knows about the resurrection?" Let me get to it. There's a class for premature jokes later on. But I asked the kids if they knew about the resurrection, and one kid said, "Well, all I know is if a resurrection lasts more than 4 hours, you should go see a doctor." You're gonna love this one. Another kid asked me why Jesus wasn't born in Saskatchewan. I said, "Well, that's easy. Try and find 3 wise men in Saskatchewan." Yeah, I'm here all night, don't worry. I will have a bodyguard following me home because I know that look. And when I was in Montreal, they had a hunchback there who would ring the bells darndest way possible. He had no arms. So he just ran at him and hit him with his head. One day he missed and shot right out of the belfry to his demise. I says, "Wow, did anybody know his name?" And they all looked at me and go, no, but his face sure rang a bell. Some poor woman again in Saskatchewan. Yes, it's my go-to province tonight. She was asked me to conduct a funeral for her. I says, well, what happened? She goes, well, my husband, a wealthy landowner, was running through the house, tripped and fell headfirst into the computer. I had to call 911 saying there was a farmer in the dell. Couple more here for you before I wind up. There's a little story about Jesus here now. How he was walking along and he saw a woman getting stoned. Jesus said, is there any amongst you who has not committed a sin? Let he cast the first stone. This little old lady down beside him just started throwing rocks, hand over fist. He looks down and goes, Mother, sometimes you can be a real pain. The other day, God called up the Pope. He says, Pope, I have some good news and I have some bad news for you. The good news is I'm coming back. I'm going to be making the earth one religion. I'm going to end all the wars. The Pope said, that's great news. What's the bad news? God said, I'm calling you from Salt Lake City. You could watch it work its way down the table here. Couple of hints for the young ladies out there in the audience tonight. They'll be IDing you before your next drink, trust me. If a guy says you're cute, he's looking at your face. If he says you're hot, he's looking at your body. If he says you look fabulous, he's looking at your brother. I shall now hand you back over to Miss Stephanie.
I could not be more proud of that dude right now. That was his third time on stage doing Reverend Dawn. So, congratulations. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he just had the set of the night. No pressure, the rest of the comedians, but you got a lot to live up to. That was pretty impressive, buddy. You got a few round of applause. I don't know how much of that is going to make the episode, but you got a round of applause. So, good boy. He's doing really good on his crowd work. That's a local comic, so I'm proud of you. We're running late on time, so I'm just going to ask one quick question, and then I'm going to bring up your next comic. Does anybody know why they have Braille on the ATM at the drive-thru? Yeah. How you doing, birthday boy? Is it just in Saskatchewan? No, in Alberta. All right, you guys, we're going to bring up your next comic. He's been doing comedy for quite a few years now. He's got a nickname. We like it. We're going to welcome him to the stage by it. Please welcome to the stage, Dave Cradillak.
How's everybody doing tonight? Beautiful. I lost my train of thought there for a second. I had a physical done this morning because I just recently had a birthday and they send you for physicals every year. And the doctor that I normally see was away on maternity leave. So the doctor that was filling in for her was looking at the piece of paper because I had blood work done. Looks at it, looks at me, looks at it, looks at me from head to toe, looks at it again, looks at me and asks, are you sure this is your blood work? And I'm like, no, I sent someone else for it. Yes, because he's like, this looks like a blood work of an athlete. Do I look like an athlete? No. I was also reading online recently that in Calgary, a dwarf got pickpocketed. a dwarf got pickpocketed. And I was thinking to myself, man, who'd stoop to such a level? Exactly my thoughts. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, our previous comedians, including myself, all have hair, except for me. My face feels naked. Yes. That includes you too, Stephanie. She's got more hair on her chin than me. She's got 3, I got 2. Yes. They go in opposite directions, so she says. Anyway, I've noticed that the air fresheners you can buy are all catered to you beautiful ladies. For example, we've got Summer Breeze, Fresh Linen, Cinnamon, Apple Pie. What else do we have? Pardon? Cinnamon bun. We've also got lilacs and lavender. And a cinnamon apple bun, that sounds delicious, actually. We need some for us males, like diesel exhaust, Pilsner, gasoline, WD-40, Saskatchewan's cologne. Yes. Gotta love the Saskatchewan cologne.
What's wrong with Saskatchewan cologne?
Nothing. I'm from Saskatchewan. Yes. Road trips are fun. Who loves road trips? Ooh, a couple people? They are fun. Especially if they include cop cars and possible stolen vehicles. Okay, I'll tell you the story. Me and a couple friends were going to Calgary, and we were cruising down 16th Avenue. Part of 16th Avenue is 90, then it drops down to 60. Cruising in the 60 zone, doing 89. Cop pulls me over. Know why I pulled you over, sir? Yeah, I was speeding. So, license registration goes to him. Comes back a minute later. Mr. Craddock, can you please step out of the car? Ooh, is right. I'm like, for what? He's like, please step out of the car. So I do. I go walk back to the back of my car where he said to. Reason to believe this car is stolen. I'm like, really? Yeah, I believe this car is stolen. And I'm like, can you look at the license, or the name on the license? Yeah, has your name and address on it? Yep. Look at the insurance. Same name, same car, same name, same address, different car. The insurance, or the registration, was for the car I was driving. And I looked at him, I'm like, how can I steal my own car? It's a piece of crap. Exactly what I thought. Relationships are fun. Who's in one? By a round of applause. Awesome. Guys, have you ever noticed when you want to get frisky with your girlfriend or wife? Not tonight, I have a headache. A couple days later, honey, you want to get frisky? No, I just had my hair done. A few nights later, I just had my nails done. A few nights later, girlfriend says to you, honey, do you want to get frisky? No, not tonight, I have a headache. You're cheating on me, aren't you? Double standard, I tell you. Yes. But on that note, since Stephanie said we're running short on time, I'm going to bring her back up, folks. Stephanie Foley.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dave Craddock. We're going to bring up your next comedian. He's one of my favorite comics. He is on our big Father's Day show coming up called The Dad Bods because he's a brand new daddy himself and he got a new haircut and now he's handsome. So please welcome to the stage, Troy Patterson.
just said take a long time. I have to pee. All right, I'll take a long time. See what do we got to work with here tonight? It's a young crowd. That's what we got to work with. You guys are young. I'm not used to performing in a high school. I don't feel like telling jokes. I feel like giving you homework is what I feel. So we got Taylor Swift here tonight, so my bucket my bucket list is complete. It's a good night for me. Yep. Someone brought a skateboard. Was it you? You brought it? Okay. Is that how all of you are getting home tonight, on that one skateboard? And that'll be soon, too, because it's almost past your bedtime, isn't it? Yeah, what are you guys drinking? Sunny D? Is that what you're drinking tonight? Is that a horrible stereotype for teenagers? Just, I walk around with my curfews and my Sunny D. And then you brought your son to the bar when he's 18. That's the problem when you're a comic and you're up here. If you tell a joke and it bombs, I feel like everybody's laughing at me. The Watoto children. They came through Medicine Hat last weekend. Did anyone else go see them? The Watoto Children's Choir from Uganda. Those kids make me cry. I see them every year. They get up there and they sing and dance, and then one of them grabs the mic and goes, "Every day I go to school." And I start crying. It's instant tears. And they're trying to raise money. And the kids will go, "When I grow up," they always do this hand gesture, "When I grow up, I'm going to be a doctor." And I'm just like, take all my money, go be a doctor. I almost ran into a deer downtown today, down at the downtown district. I don't know why that's funny. It's the one skateboarder. Did you run into a deer too today, or? Yeah? No? No, is it the downtown district? You know, I call it the Double D. And I like the Double D. But let's just be fair. I also like the flats. I almost hit a deer. What's with deers here in the city? Like, they used to be so bold, and now they're so timid. That changed. In my lifetime, I watched deers just everywhere. I'm walking here. Get out of my way. I'm a deer. I'm a deer. And now they're just like, no, you go, you go. No, it's okay. They all use the crosswalk. Have you noticed this? What happened to the deer? Teapots are old-fashioned. Is that an astute observation? Turns out in stand-up comedy, farts aren't funny anymore. Is that an astute observation? I have a 4-month-old little girl, and she's so cute that sometimes it stops my heart. Cute is powerful, is what I'm learning as a new dad. I saw a little bunny rabbit, a baby bunny today at work, black little baby rabbit, and it was so cute. It was so cute. Cute is powerful. If you look at the planet as an entity, human beings are the parasite we're just slowly destroying the planet. So we're a parasite, and so we deserve to be destroyed or punched in the face or whatever the punishment is, we deserve it. So I get that argument, right? But I'm a forgiveness guy. I'm a radical forgiveness guy. And I think on one hand, we do deserve to be punished or destroyed. But on the other hand, human beings can be very lovable and soulish. So yes, I'm a parasite, but I'm also cute. And cute is powerful. You're not going to destroy. I think if aliens wanted to invade Earth, that's how they should do it. Because it's our Achilles heel, cuteness. Just be super cute, and you can totally invade us. Guys, I want to end on a high note. So.
Please give it up for all the comedians that were on the show today. They did a great job. Give it up for Shaw TV for coming out and supporting local entertainment. Give it up for them. Thank you so much. Please watch us on Shaw TV, Homegrown Gigglers. You'll see it rotating. I believe this is our 4th episode that we've filmed. And we wanted to give a special thanks to Whiskey Creek for having us in here every Tuesday night. Thank you so much. And a big round of applause to you guys for coming out and supporting local entertainment and your local entertainment scene. It's great to see a Tuesday night absolutely packed in here. Thank you so much. Good night. Please drive safe and tip your entertainers. Thank you.